Coming up on City Spotlight, we're nearing the finish line of Season 11 of City Spotlight, and we're featuring two communities from Champaign County. First, it's our first time taping in Philo, the 30th community to be featured on City Spotlight. We'll talk with Philo Mayor Larry Franks and Steve Sappenfield, Philo 150th committee member. We'll get an overview of Philo, Public Works, and Economic Development. Plus, we'll have Larry and Steve's thoughts and visuals of Philo's sesquicentennial celebration. Then we head up the road to Urbana and the Champaign County Fair as we talk with Kevin Miller, a horse trainer from Arthur. We'll learn about Kevin and his love for training horses and why he enjoys racing horses at venues like the Champaign County Fair. It's another two-community episode here in Season 11 as we feature the communities of Philo and Urbana here on City Spotlight. Hello and welcome to another edition of City Spotlight. As you can see, we are on location for this latest episode. We're going to be all in Champaign County for this episode, featuring two segments here in Champaign County. We're going to start off our first time taping in Philo, the 30th community featured here on City Spotlight. Excited to be in the community of Philo, and it's an exciting time for Philo as they're celebrating their sesquicentennial. We're inside taping here at the St. Thomas Grade School as Mother Nature has kind of intervened on this day as we tape here on July 19th. And to help us out in this first time talking Philo, we welcome first time to the program, the Mayor of Philo, Larry Franks. Larry, welcome to the program.
Glad you're here.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here. And Steve Sappenfield, he's with the committee of the Philo 150th. Steve, great to have you on.
Good to meet you.
Thank you very much. We'll get an overview of Philo in the first part of this interview with Larry and Steve. In the second part, we'll talk about Philo's 150th and have some visuals later in the interview. First time guests, let's both learn a little bit about yourself. We'll start with Larry.
I've lived in the center of the universe my whole life, and I've been was on the city council for 22 years, and now I've been mayor for 12 years. And my wife and I live here, and I have two sons.
All right, very good. Glad to have you on, Larry. And Steve, tell us about yourself, please.
Moved to the community in '86. My parents were raised both outside of Philo, so kind of drew me to the small town, and been involved in township government, village government, and kind of just now in helping with the community. I'm kind of a volunteer freak, and would say so. Wife has never left town, so been married here and have 4 kids, and all 4 kids now have homes in town. So very rooted here in the community.
Very much so. A lot of experience in the community of Philo between these two gentlemen. And as we always do, first time talking to community here on this program, City Spotlight. We'll start with the location. Philo located here in the southern part of Champaign County. Obviously, Urbana and Champaign located to the north. Illinois Route 130, major road to help get people to and from Philo. So, Mayor, Larry, tell us about your location here in Champaign County.
You bring up a really good point. We're very close to Champaign, Urbana, so we're basically a bedroom community with everybody traveling to work there, and picked Philo. One of the reasons they picked Philo, that it's a quaint town. We have a great school district in Unit 7. As we're here in St. Thomas offers a lot for the community. And we also have a really two great daycare centers here. One at the Franks Center. We were able to buy the old school for $1. We reventilated it to our offices down there, the mayor's office, the clerk's office, and then the council's office. And then the other side, we rent out for new Bugs and Hugs for a daycare. So we're very proud about that.
We have taped in Philo technically. This is the first time featuring Philo when we taped with Unit 7 schools. It was a Tolono episode, but we taped at Unity East Elementary. So great to be back in the area. And thank you for sharing that about the location. So let's talk about the nuts and bolts of the community. Tell us about some of your more recent public works things in the community that has been worked on or moving forward.
A couple of things that we're really happy with. We finished a huge drainage project here, and part of the drainage projects we had to have a retention pond. So about 3 or 4 months before we got into the retention pond, I went sledding with my grandsons in Savoy at their sledding hill. And the engineer said, you know, it's going to cost us X amount of dollars to remove that dirt. So we decided to make a sledding hill. It's been a huge success. We also then had a major project of redoing Main Street, which turned out really well. We took care of it. And then one of the things we're really proud about, we put a whole new playground in at Hazen Park. And what I'm really proud about this community, we tried to get grants, we were denied from all our grants. So we decided we'll do it on our own. So with all our people giving money, and the Philo Exchange Bank was huge, John Ketchterian was huge, we were able to put a really nice playground equipment in. We're very proud of that on there. And then also another thing that we're proud of, we have a new electronic sign on Main Street that welcomes you to the center of the universe.
Yes.
Our deputy clerk can put messages on it and everything, and it's turned out really well.
All right, you've said it a couple times. It's noticeable if you've driven through Philo. The water tower says Philo is the center of the universe. Why was that put on there?
Well, we had a young man that grew up here, and his family, his father was a professor, and they were sent to India. He was sent over there. So as a young man, he had 2 brothers, and they were discussing where Philo was over in India. He decided, his brother did, if you dig straight down, you would end up in Philo.
Really?
Yeah, straight down. So that's where it termed center of the universe. He started it, and he actually climbed up the water tower and did a remote there. And so we've hooked ever since, been center of the universe.
Wow, that's a great story. I don't think we can top that. Very good. Let's talk about your economic development. Tell us about some of the businesses you have in the community.
Well, we got some great business. We've got the Philo Tavern, which has been a huge success in
People
Philo.
may have heard of that a few times.
And then we have Daily Sports Bar, which is really good. And we have a unique deal. The corner store down there had a car wash. Well, they decided the car wash wouldn't want, so we'll make a winery out of the car wash. So you just have wine and beer down there, and people really enjoy going down there. It has a nice atmosphere. We have them. And then the big plus, Philo, as I like to joke, it's my anchor store to my mall, the Dollar General. And so it's been a real good success. And then we also have Casey's and a doctor's office here also in town.
What is one of your newer businesses that's come about recently?
Well, I would say it would probably be, the newer one would be Casey's and Daily Sports Bar on there.
All right, very good. Do you have any interest in businesses coming to Philo moving forward?
Oh yeah, we're always looking to get new business. Oh, excuse me, I forgot. The other big one we got is FDS, Fertilizer Diesel Supply. It's been here a long time.
You got a little bit of farmland around the community.
Yeah, and they're specialized as fertilizer equipment for farmers and stuff, and they've been really big in the community. Employ a lot of our local people.
Nice. All right, very good. We could talk a whole lot more, but we don't want to give the appropriate amount of time to why we're here. If it were not raining, we would be outside with the 150th Sesquicentennial here in Philo behind us, but we will have footage of the parade, which is coming up after our taping here. So Steve, you're on the committee for this anniversary, and first of all, planning something like this is a milestone thing. Communities across central Illinois have been celebrating this. They all kind of popped up around the same time. It is Philo's turn to celebrate their sesquicentennial. Talk about this grand occasion.
Oh, was brought up about 15, I think I counted about 15 months ago. The board put out a word about maybe we need to start planning it, and so a bunch of us got together and just kind of talk about what we want to do and pick a date, and I ended up being chosen, or I don't know, volunteered by somebody else. Anyway, the chair.
That's usually how it works in a community,
which is
right?
fine. I enjoy doing it, and then we just put our heads together and put together a lot of things we wanted to do. And then we just started slotting things in, and like I said, we've had really good first 2 days. Thursday we had a talent show and a great entertainment that night.
Not to interject, but a community of this size, you have a 4-day celebration.
4 days.
Wow.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, back in the day they did a week.
Ambitious, I guess.
They had less people and they were doing it a week. 25 and 50 years ago, they
What are
did
some
it
of the
for a
events
week.
that have taken place before we're taping here on this Saturday, the 19th of July? What happened the first 2 days?
Thursday we had our local talent show, and then we had a nice band in the beer tent. Was our opening night. Yesterday We started with, we had some kids inflatables going all night. We had a bunch of food trucks.
Right.
We had another great band on the stage last night. And things really gear up today and tomorrow.
So we're taping here on the Saturday, the third day of the celebration, Philo's sesquicentennial. So we'll have footage of the parade. You guys will be in the parade. What else is happening today?
We're going to start with the parade, then we have a car show on Main Street after the parade. Have a bags tournament. It's going to be in the firehouse now, but due to the weather. And then down at the park, we'll have our kids' thrill rides all day and night for them.
Right.
We have a craft vendor show going on down there right now. They're setting up, getting ready for the day. We'll have about 3 or 4 different food trucks down there. They'll come and go over the course of the day. And then in our beer tent stage, we got local talent coming at 4 o'clock.
Wonderful.
And 4 o'clock we got one, then they change around. 5:30 we go to another one, then we got a big band coming in
So
tonight.
a full day of events. Obviously, the weather has kind of pushed maybe a little bit of that back. And what are some of the things that happen on the final day?
Final day Sunday is our Happy Birthday Philo Day. We're having cake and ice cream for all.
Aww.
That's after the Knights of Columbus are serving breakfast to everyone in the morning, 8 to 11. So we kick off the day with breakfast, then we go into our 4-H group is going to do some old-fashioned games for the kids. Give them something to do in the afternoon, throw a little bingo in there. Then we close out the afternoon with the Philo Country Opry and Marvin Lee, which is a real big hit, kind of for our older crowd that really likes it. So then at 6 o'clock we move over to the Ball Diamond, the Fireman's Field, and we have our headlining band, the 90s Daughter, very local band, and we end up with a fireworks show about 9:15 that's going to be unbelievable. For a small community, it'll beat anybody's around.
All right, sounds good. I'm going to ask you guys both the next question. Thank you, Steve, for going through all the events. Sound like you guys did some really good planning starting 15 months ago, as you said. What does this mean to the community? I'll start with Steve. What does this mean to the community to celebrate 150 years?
Oh, I think it means a lot because I had a lot of people come in from out of town that lived here grew up here, and part of their families are still here. And you, like I said, last couple of nights in the beer tent, you just get to see people you haven't seen in a while. That their families have been here, they were raised here, you kind of were raised with them, but they came back, and I think that's a lot of it. Just brings back their hometown spirit. They went out of their way. I mean, we're people traveling from California, Florida, out from the East Coast, from Texas, that have all come back just for this celebration to be with their family and friends again.
Yeah.
I go exactly what Steve said. They can move and be away from Philo, but Philo is still their home. And I thought one of the really neat things, Thursday when we set up, we were kind of worried about if we were going to have enough people to set up, enough volunteers. We were just flooded with volunteers that didn't sign up, showed up, worked all morning and afternoon to get everything set up, and it's heartwarming. That's the kind of community that we have.
Excellent. We'll look forward to sharing some of the visuals, rain or shine, today on this third day of the Philo Sesquicentennial. Gentlemen, I want to ask, what's next for Philo? What happens year 151 moving forward? What's next on the horizon for the community? Give us a look into the future of Philo the next 150 years.
Well, I think that we're always looking at, as most communities, drainage on there. And then another thing that we're dealing with, and we would really like to get it done, would be a sewer system for Philo. I think that we struggle with that, with the money and everything, but that's something I would like to see us try to get and to make the community a lot better.
As we've talked about on this program, now 30 communities on City Spotlight. Public Works is critical to every community, regardless of size. Steve, what are you looking forward to the next 150 years of Philo?
I would like to see it grow a little bit. I think we need some land kind of open up and get some more, a little more affordable homes in town for some of these folks, for more families like I got, like I said, 4 children in town. They're all raising kids, living in nice homes and everything. But I think it's time we get a little more, another subdivision in town would be nice in the next 10, 20 years. Kind of open up a few more lots in town. I think what the village in this size, we've really watched how we've grown to make sure it's grown in the right way, that we're not bringing in too much at one time.
Right.
But like Larry says, the septic system, sewer system would be great first. We could get that in here first, and then that would give us the opportunity to actually expand it into some nice affordable homes for everybody.
And as you get more people in the community, that's more volunteers for the next
Yeah,
celebration.
That's exactly right.
Talked about all the volunteers.
Exactly. We can sit back and watch
Yeah,
this.
that's right.
Larry Frank, Steve Sappenfield, talking Philo and the Philo 150th. Gentlemen, thank you for the time talking Philo, and congratulations on 150 years.
And
Thank
thanks
you.
for being here.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Glad to be here. Talking Philo for the first time here on City Spotlight. In our next segment here on City Spotlight, we're going to stay in Champaign County, going to head north up to Urbana and have a segment on the Champaign County Fair. But first, let's take a look at some of the upcoming activities going on in the communities of Philo and Urbana. And we're back here on City Spotlight, this latest 2-community episode here in season 11. This whole episode on Champaign County. We were in Philo in segment 1. We are now traveled up north back to Urbana here in season 11 of City Spotlight. We are taping for the first time at the Champaign County Fair as we tape here on July 23rd. Our backdrop is the Champaign County Fair. And in this segment, we're going to profile a local horse trainer. He's from Arthur, Illinois. We welcome first time to the program, Kevin Miller to the program. Kevin, glad to have you on.
Thank you.
Appreciate having Kevin on here. We're inside his stables here. Again, on July 23rd, he races horses. And Kevin, before we talk about racing here at the fair, which you did last night prior to our taping, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I grew up about 45 minutes from here in Arthur, Illinois. I've been around horses my whole life, been training horses probably the last 25 years or so.
So all those years ago, nearly 30 years ago, what got you interested in horses?
I went to the state fair when I was 15 years old and watched my cousin win a big race over there, and I just kind of hooked on it since then.
What is your favorite thing about being a horse trainer? I know that's kind of a broad question.
Just being around the horses and the family atmosphere. Like anybody could, kids can grow up in it and learn how to do it. It's something that anybody can do probably if you just have some patience and learn to be around the horses.
So you've been doing this a little while, so I guess I could ask you this question. What does it take to be a good horse trainer? What's a quality that someone should have to do what you do?
A lot of patience. You got to have patience with the horses or whatever, and the people that you're working with. The horses will tell you, like, if you need to slow down with them or if they're good to go.
Okay, very good. Again, we're taping here at the Champaign County Fair in Urbana, and Kevin, you raced last night here at the Champaign County Fair. It's a week-long, obviously, tradition. Most county fairs are a week-long. So tell us about your experience racing here at the Champaign County Fair last night.
Yeah, we raced 5 horses last night. 3 of them win, and then we had a second and a third. They all raced real good, though.
And talk about this track. Have you raced at this location before?
Yeah, I probably raced here the last 10 years or so, but I moved up here. I've been training here for the last 3 years, so it's kind of my home track now.
And as far as tracks go, not that we're ranking tracks that you've raced at, but is it a good track to race at for horses?
Yeah, it's got one of the best surfaces that we race at the county fairs. There's a couple others that are pretty close, but it's one of the better ones.
And what do you look for when you race on a track that makes it, you say this one is a good one?
Yeah, the surface, like the footing and stuff for the horses, that it's safe and everything, and for the drivers. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
And obviously, you are a horse trainer, so you train your horses to race, and so you want to see them race, and so you have to find places to race, and county fairs are a pretty good spot. Tell us about some of the other places that you've raced at here this year.
I've been to Carrollton. I've been to pretty much every county fair that there's been so far that's had harness racing. I pretty much go to probably 95% of them. We've been to Carrollton, Rushville.
Any here in Central Illinois?
Yeah, Newton, Illinois. Newton. Trying to think of
That's in our viewing area.
Farmer City, just right up the road, 20 minutes or so. Yeah, we raced there just a week or so ago.
And non-horse question just popped in my head here. What do you enjoy about county fairs, maybe outside of horse racing?
Just being around the people or whatever. I mean, the county fairs are always fun, the food and everything. I'm not much into the rides and stuff, but just like going to the county fairs.
We've covered the Moultrie Douglas County Fair here on City Spotlight. Do you get a chance to race at your home fair?
No, there's not even a track there.
Oh, okay.
But I go up there just for the food, basically.
So we have one of your horses, I think, in the wide shot that you can see behind us. Tell us about your horses. What kind of horses are they?
They're standardbred race horses. The one that's standing right behind us, that horse, he's won his last 7 races. He's been pretty good for us. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, people that have horses, they don't just have them to look great. People like people like riding horses, but you have horses to race them. So, what are some, I guess, qualities in a horse that you look for to be a good racing horse?
They gotta be sound, like good-looking horses or whatever. They gotta be fast. If they're not fast enough, we have to find something else for them to do. They make good pleasure horses and anything, like a lot of different things. Riding horses, like if they're not fast enough for what we do with them.
Okay. I kind of wrote this question down as my possible last question. So, you and the horse you race the horses yourself, obviously?
Yeah, I train them. Then we put there's drivers that'll drive them in the races and stuff.
So when you come to a fair or a place to race your horses, I guess you could call a horse and the person racing the horse an athlete. When you come to a venue like a county fair, they say athletes get risen up because they have a crowd to perform in front of. What's that like when you race at a venue and you have people cheering you on, even if it's horse racing?
Yeah, the horses like it. They like the noise. It gets them a little excited and everything. And obviously the drivers and the trainers, we all like a good crowd that's loud. We had a good loud crowd out here last night. They were making a lot of noise, cheered on their favorite horses or whatever.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to add about horse racing or county fairs in general that you enjoy? Again, we're taping here at the Champaign County Fair. Just a good overall experience so far here this week?
Yeah, it's been great. So the weather worked out great. It looked like it was going to rain, but everything's been good. And it's harness racing, something that anybody can get into. And it's a real easy sport, and it's pretty easy to get into if anybody wants to get into it.
We've taped harness racing at area county fairs. I can name so many that we've taped here on this program, City Spotlight. Just a shout out to county fairs and what they mean to people in our area.
They mean a lot to everybody, basically. it's good. I mean, it's agriculture and means a lot to the state of Illinois.
All right. We've been talking with Kevin Miller. He's a horse trainer from Arthur, Illinois. Kevin, we appreciate your time here on City Spotlight, and best of luck racing this rest of this coming year.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And this has been our latest City Spotlight episode featuring two communities, both segments here in Champaign County, as we tape here in the middle of July. The communities of Philo and Urbana were covered here in this episode of City Spotlight. Thanks for watching. Thank you for tuning in to City Spotlight. You can check out past episodes, including the one you're watching right now, on YouTube. To check out recent episodes of Central and Southeastern Illinois towns featured on City Spotlight, search on YouTube, City Spotlight, with the show number and the name of the town. Listed on your screen are the last 5 episodes of City Spotlight.